Just to reiterate what I said last time, be sure you have other people look at this paper before you turn it in for a grade. If you can have a group of 3 or 4 people do multiple passes, one for organization, one for sentence level style, one for proofreading and editing, you're going to have a much better paper than you will if you just do 1 or 2 drafts. Alright? So, multiple drafts help. Having other people read it helps. Alright? That's enough nagging on that. Final remarks. One of the things that makes St. Augustine, and he's one of the people you might have read about in your 131 Christians book, one of the things that makes his book, The Confession, so interesting and so moving to so many people around the world is that he wrote it not as a book about God, but he wrote it as a book to God. He addresses God as he goes along doing his theology. Now, I'm not saying that you should write your senior seminar paper in second person. That's out of bounds for this one. You need to write it as a formal paper. But think about it in these terms, all right? Think about this as, I am setting my life before you, God, and I'm giving it to you as a gift. And as I read this John Donne text, and I read about the power of death to translate us into a better language, when I'm reading about the interconnectedness of all of these people, the bells that ring for all of us, these are the things about my life that I realize. These are the insights that I have about life. This is the insight I have about my career. And I'm giving this all to God as a gift. Now, what's that going to look like concretely in your paper? I don't know, because once we get into areas where you are talking to God, it's real hard to predict what's going to happen. Okay? But if you get stuck on this paper, that's one avenue you can take. You can think about, all right, when I think about this John Donne text, and when I think about my own life as someone who God has created, someone whom God has redeemed, what kinds of thoughts come to me? When I take a look at these sources and I see John Donne's life and his work, I see my own field in some new perspective. Again, what kinds of things am I thinking? All right. Remember that you are always writing for a reader. In this case, obviously your professor is going to be grading it, but remember that you are writing for a reader who doesn't know everything about you, and moreover, doesn't have all the details of John Donne's Meditation 17 right at the fingertips. Okay? So you can bring up details, you can tell stories about your life. All the details that you bring together are going to form a certain picture for your reader. The better picture you can paint, the better your paper is going to read. Okay? Finally, and this is going to be one of the shorter clips, if not the shortest, as you come up on the due date for this paper, and I realize it's only a few days away, and I encourage you to keep working hard on it, as you come up on the due date, shift your thinking more and more on each draft, on each time you sit down with this paper. Shift more and more from, how is this working out to my thoughts, to, how am I going to serve my reader with this text? A few things that are going to serve your reader: good editing, some attention to your verb choice. Is it really reflecting the action of the sentence? Some attention to the subjects of your sentence. Are they really reflecting who's doing what to whom? Some attention to the organization of it. How does it get from point A to point B? All the things that go into making a good paper, they are there not for you as the writer. They are for your reader. How can you make this easier for a reader? The best way to tell, of course, is to get somebody to read it. Get a group of people to read it. Ask them, where does it break down? Where does it get fuzzy? Where does it get confusing? Where do they wish you had given some more material? After you've done that, after you've done all these things, served your reader as best you can turn in this paper, you can feel good about it, you can go on, you can graduate, and you can go do wonderful things as you serve the Lord. I am Nathan Gilmore. This is the last of the senior seminar paper videos, and I won't see you on the other side of this click. Goodbye.